In today's video, I'll talk about one of the Prebuilt PCs from Newegg. This one is the ABS Gladiator gaming desktop. Now, there are a bunch of gaming PCs with the same name, so I'm going to talk about what I think is the best in terms of price performance for this brand. Now, this PC, it's pricey, it's $2,200, but I'm going to discuss the specifications and if it's worth your buy or not if you have this budget. Now, if you have below or above $2,200, don't worry about it. Down below in the description, you have a bunch of PCs that I recommend you buying for every type of budget. I update the list every month, but if you don't want to see the list, you want to see a video, you have my video about the top 5 best Prebuilt PCs of the month that you can go and watch in the top right of the screen. With that being said, let's start with the video. So to start, I will talk about the specifications for this PC. Now, if you don't know anything about the specifications because you're new to gaming, I'll talk about what this PC can run, what type of games, at what FPS and what resolution, so don't worry about it, but I will start talking about the specifications. This specific model has the i7-12700KF for the CPU. It's great to see that they put the latest 12th gen of Intel, then you get the RTX 3070 Ti version of it, and then you get 16 gigs of RAM at 3000 MHz. Now, this is not the greatest RAM that you can get, but again, for Intel it's going to work just fine, and then you get 1TB of M.2 SSD. Now, if you don't understand anything that I'm saying, basically the main component for gaming is the GPU, the graphics card, however you want to say it, and this one has the RTX 3070 Ti, one of the best on the market right now, and this graphics card will allow you to play at 4K. So if you want a 4K monitor or you already have one, the RTX 3070 Ti is going to be great for the price and performance that it brings. Of course, if you lower to a 1440p monitor, you're going to get more FPS, and if you even lower to a 1080p monitor, it's more frames per second. But once again, if you're going to buy this PC, at least have a 1440p 144Hz monitor to take advantage of it, because if you're going to play on a 1080p monitor, basically you're wasting the full potential for this PC. Now, I have a whole video about monitors, so I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I'm trying to make you understand these components are really powerful for the price. You also get that i7-12700KF. You're going to get a great balance for both gaming and multitasking. So if you want to stream with one PC, do 3D rendering, heavy video editing, and you also want to play your games at 4K or 1440p while you do all of this stuff, this PC is actually going to be great for you and for a decent price. Now, $2,300, I know it's pricey, but I'm going to compare it right now with a PC build. But before comparing it with a PC build, I want to say that it's on sale right now. You are saving $200 by the time that I'm recording this video. So if you click the link in the description where you have this PC and it's not $2,300, don't blame me because the market keeps changing every day basically. So if you go ahead and build this PC by yourself and you pick the parts on the PC part picker for basically the exact same PC, you're paying $2,351, so it's around $50 more expensive than the Prebuilt PC, but you have to build it by yourself, keep that in mind. So if you don't want to build a PC by yourself, you're going to get a Prebuilt PC at a cheaper price. $50 is not a lot, but it's still cheaper and it's going to be the same exact performance. But if you want to build it by yourself, then it's great because you get experience and all of that. But if you don't want to build it by yourself, I think this option is actually a great gaming PC and I recommend you buying. But before recommending you buying this, I want to give you guys my cons for this PC as well. The first con is the 16 gigs of RAM at 3000 MHz. Now, if you're just going to do gaming, this is not a problem. 16 gigs of RAM, 3000 MHz is going to get the job done. But if you're thinking of doing heavy video editing or opening a lot of tabs on Google Chrome while you're gaming or while you're editing, I think 32 gigs of RAM is going to be a better option. Now, this is not a necessary upgrade, but this is an upgrade that I would actually do depending on my necessities. But if you're just going to do gaming, this is not necessary, but it's a nice upgrade that I would make to this PC. And now the other con and another upgrade that I would make is actually the power supply. It has a 700 watts gold power supply. It's going to work fine with this build, but if you want to do future upgradability and if you want to upgrade, let's say, the GPU to the RTX 3090 down the line, then I would recommend at least an 850 watts gold power supply. So if you're thinking of upgrading in the future, you have to keep in mind that you will have to eventually upgrade the power supply in order to put a better GPU. If you're just upgrading the RAM, don't worry, you don't need a better power supply. But if you're upgrading the GPU, I'm guessing you're upgrading at least to a 3080 Ti or a 3090, and in that case, you will need a better power supply. And the third con is that it doesn't have a front mesh panel. That will make the airflow way better than it is. Of course, the airflow for this PC is going to be decent. You get the 240mm all-in-one liquid cooler for the CPU. You get 3 fans on the front, so the airflow is not going to be terrible, but it could be better with the front mesh panel. I'm not saying you have to change the case, because in that case, build the PC by your own. But all I'm saying is that it could have better airflow, but overall I don't think this is going to be a real problem. Now this PC has some great reviews, it's going to be great for basically any type of resolution, 1440p, 4K, 1080p of course. If you're thinking of playing the highest demanding video games like Flight Simulator 2020, Red Dead Redemption 2, Far Cry 6, whatever game you want to throw at it, it's going to run it at least 60 frames per second in 1440p or 4K, of course with the proper settings, but whatever game you want to play, you're going to be able to play it in today's market. Also, if you're thinking of competing because maybe you like Valorant, CSGO, Fortnite or Warzone or any type of game like that, this one is going to be capable of running those games at above 240 FPS, of course with the lowest settings, but you're supposed to play those games at the lowest settings if you want to compete. So if you want a monitor that's 240 Hz, doesn't matter the resolution 1440p or 1080p, this one is going to handle it perfect and you're going to take advantage of the power for this PC. Also, the reviews for this PC are great and the ABS customer support is going to be great as well, so that's something to keep in mind. Overall, I think this is a nice Prebuilt PC that you can buy for $2,300. There are not many Prebuilt gaming PCs that you can get at this price point with this type of specifications, so I think overall if you have $2,300, consider this PC. Of course, do your own research, compare Prebuilt PCs and pick the one that is the best one for you, but if you're just looking for strict gaming, I think you should consider this gaming PC, and I think it's actually going to be one of your best options, if not the best one, but I really think it's worth the buy for the price that you're paying. Now, if you found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly, hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, which I do from 3 to 5 times a week. But before ending the video, I want to say that it's really important the type of monitor that you have or the type of monitor that you want to buy to pick the right gaming PC for you, and also the games that you're going to play in order to pick the right PC. And like I said before, I have a whole video around the best monitors that you can buy right now, and it's really important for you to see that video before buying any of these gaming PCs, because like I say in every video, if you're just going to do 1080p gaming, then there's no need on buying this gaming desktop. You can buy a gaming PC for around $1,500, so you end up saving around $900 or $800, whatever, and you're going to get the exact same performance because you can't see above 240 frames per second. So question yourself before buying any high-end gaming PC, because maybe you're spending money on something that's not worth it down the line, because you can save those $800 and build a nice setup around the gaming PC. So keep those questions in mind. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions and I will reply as fast as possible. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.